everybody. Hey, all right, Greenpoint History Night. Thank you for coming out. This is the fifth of these events. I'm always shocked that anyone comes to this, but this has been incredible. And I am going to do a presentation as the last of the season about our beloved Pulaski Bridge. Everyone, give it up for the Pulaski Bridge. So, before the Pulaski was a bridge, there was the Vernon. Does anyone know the Vernon Boulevard Bridge? Ooh, a lot of, no one knows. You know a little bit. So the Vernon Boulevard Bridge has, I'm going to use a laser pointer. There we go. So here's the Pulaski. There used to be a bridge right here called the Vernon Boulevard Bridge that connected Manhattan Avenue and Greenpoint to Vernon Boulevard in Long Island City. That is why, if you ever go to Long Island City, there's sort of like a downtown-esque, not a downtown, like a what? What am I trying to say? Like a main street, thank you. A main street in Vernon Boulevard and a main street in Manhattan Avenue. Those are, they're spiritually connected in that way because there was a bridge that used to go right there. So let's go to the Vernon Boulevard Bridge. The first one opened in 1882. It was a wrought iron high truss swing bridge, which meant that it would swing perpendicular, I think that's right, to allow the ships to pass through. If you go to Grand Street is currently a swing bridge, so that's like a good example. And it was manufactured in Cleveland by the King Iron Bridge Manufacturing Company. This actually is from the King Iron Bridge, kind of touting their own thing, being like, "Hey, look what we did." This is the actual thing, what it looked like, the original one. They made a second one in 1905 that was more of a drawbridge. And these are some old historic photos of what it used to look like. This is a before and after. So if you go down Manhattan Avenue at the end, past where Vitus used to be, past what else is there? The Brooklyn Brewery and things like that. This is what it used to look like. There was the bridge passing out. Now it's more a parking lot structure, or not parking lot, but just like parking. And that is what it once was. Here's another great photo that I found. I did a lot of research for this thing, so come on. Thank you very much. And this is the Long Island City side. Here's the rail tracks that now are where the LIRR go through, the Lure. But and so yeah, you have like little policemen here and things like that, little blurry figures. In 1918, Vernon Boulevard Bridge allowed over 2 million vehicular crossings. Here are the vehicles. Here's I looked it up, and the caption with this photo is that there was an accident here, and that's why there's no fence. A car must have just tumbled that way. But in addition to the vehicular crossings, there were 168,000 trolley trips as well, which is going to take us in a little detour on this presentation. So the trolleys went over Vernon Boulevard. This is what the old trolley system used to look like existing in Brooklyn, which is why... bring back the trolley. Up here where it says trolley crossing, so that is the old Vernon Boulevard, and then from there it would dip down in here and take anyone, anywhere. A lot of bus lines currently are this, but yeah, we used to have a lot of trolleys, including this one. Does anyone know where this location is in Greenpoint? Bedford? No? Bedford Slip, no. Well, wait, no, Bedford, no, that's right, Bedford Slip. Bedford Slip. This is right now. You got the Dunkin' Donuts here. You got, what's over here? Gian, I think, is over here somewhere. Right here. And so you used to have the trolleys coming through that way. And this was the old trolley depot. So the old trolley depot was at Manhattan Avenue between Clay and Box Street. Here's the depot right here. Does anyone know what this is right now? It is Lincoln Market is right here. You got the bodega here. You got some weird thing that's here that has not been occupied, but I looked on the door, and apparently it's going to be a weed shop. I am not sure about that, but why not? Sure, why not? So there was a fire in 1952 in the depot, and this is a big thing here. I don't want to talk too much about this, but anyway, there was a big fire. I mean, the main thing is that, like, you know, if you've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you understand why the streetcars are no longer around and that type of thing. The big conspiracy with all the, right? And with all, and this was sort of the end of streetcars in Brooklyn. Let's see. Oh. All right, how am I going to set this up? So there is somebody who's directly responsible for the Pulaski Bridge, and that is this fella here, who people might know as a boy. Mr. Robert Moses. Everyone talks about Robert Moses these days. Everyone wants to boo him. That's fine. I don't care. He sucks, blah, 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 because he was broker in power. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This took me probably 30 minutes to figure out how to make that go down like that. But thank you very much. It's worth it now. And so he had a few things working in the 30s and 40s and 50s. The first one was the Long Island Expressway. So the Long Island Expressway, as you can see, goes right here north of Greenpoint in Long Island City. It was opened in 1940. This part here was all opened around 1940 or so. And then part two of that is the BQE, the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, which was opened down here in the bottom. And again, 1940. 1940 is when the proposal started. 1950 is when, from the Kosciuszko to the Williamsburg Bridge was opened. But there needed to be a way through, and the way through was Greenpoint. And so you had, like I said, the Manhattan Avenue right here with the Vernon Street Bridge here, and you had Oakland Street here, which was the only other up and down, north and south way. Now Oakland, yeah, that was the first question. If everyone in the trivia, if you remember, what was McGinnis? It was Oakland. And so there's an old sign, Oakland Street. I don't know if he's just pointing at it, he's doing something. Oakland then later was named McGinnis after the Greenpoint Laird. I love that little saying there. And there were still like remnants around in old photos. This is one of my favorite photos of all time. It was on the flyer for this thing. But there's on McGinnis Boulevard and Freeman where there is a bus stop right here. It's kind of like a nothing building, but there used to be something called the Old Oakland Tavern Restaurant, which this is just, I want to live in this. This seems like the most amazing place. Dunkin' Donuts is right over here. Do I have a show? No. Anyway, so they needed a connector between Long Island Expressway and BQE. That's McGinnis Boulevard, back then Oakland. But then it couldn't go to Vernon Boulevard anymore. And Vernon Boulevard Bridge was on the ropes. It was outmoded. It was beyond repair. It was in precarious condition. One stat, here, was that the bridge, it was a drawbridge. It needed to be open over 12,000 times a year just to let the ships go back and forth. Now, right now, Pulaski Bridge is about 2 or 3 times a day or so, and so you can do the math on that. 12,000 times is a lot of times. And so they needed him to have a new bridge. The names that came up were the Pulaski or the Newtown Creek. And what won was the Pulaski. The Pulaski span won. Let's go, Pulaski. It was a big bridge, whatever. Anyway, here are some old photos of the original bridge. Opened in September 10th of 1954. This is an old photo, what it looked like. It cost over $11 million. As it became used, the Vernon Avenue Bridge was closed. Here's a thing about the 49-year-old Vernon Avenue Bridge closing permanently. Nobody kind of gave a shit. That was the Pulaski. Here's some facts. I don't know if I really want to talk about any of these facts, but basically, here's another photo. The main thing is that it's a bascule bridge, which means that it goes like this, which is very important for ships to go through. Can you do that again? Like this. It was Frederick. I did not pronounce this before. This guy, he was the one who designed it. He designed all sorts of stuff in the public city works, so much so that this obituary does not mention the Pulaski Bridge at all. But anyway, he's the dude. He does look like a zombie. Oh, like I said, a drawbridge. There it goes. It's drawing up there. That's what it looks like. That's one of the ships going through. This is a close-up, if you ever walk that way, of what that looks like, the jaws of life. And this is me 2 nights ago, just sitting there and watching, just waiting for everyone to get through. You have the E, you have a whole collection of E delivery people here. You got bikers. Anyway, this happens. Has this happened to anyone else? Consistently. All right. It's fine. The Pulaski Bridge is painted something called Pulaski Red, which the city Department of Transportation only has 7 different colors. Pulaski Red is one of them. I can read these off. You might want to remember this in case we ever do another trivia night, because I'm going to be saying Munsell Gray is one of the things. Who was Casimir Pulaski? Does anyone know who Casimir Pulaski was? Polak. I'm wrong. Born, this is way too small. Anyway, born in Warsaw when Poland and Lithuania were one giant country. He fought against Russia back then. He was made colonel, then general. Quote, he developed a reputation for daring raids and sometimes disobeying orders when he saw a bigger military opportunity. Russia eventually moved into Poland and Lithuania, which forced the king to ratify a partition. Pulaski was convicted of trying to assassinate the king. Ooh. He escaped to France. Who was in France? Ben Franklin was in France. That's where he met him. Ben Franklin's like, hey, come on, we got a thing going on in America. Let's go over there. Why don't you do some shit over there? So he was like, I got nothing going on. He went to America, did a bunch of Revolutionary War victories. He was promoted to brigadier general. He formed his own cavalry unit in America. In October of 1778, he tried to retake Savannah, Georgia, and was cut down by British fire. He died at the age of 33, 2 days later. But Pulaski is, for a lot of Polish, a lot of Lithuanian. I am both. I am Polish, Lithuanian. The other part is Croatian. But Pulaski has always been around, kind of like as the main figure of like immigration of Polish or Lithuanian folks. And so he has a ton of shit named after him. He's got monuments named after him. He's got holidays named after him. In Chicago, Casimir Pulaski, the Sufjan Stevens song, whatever. Cities and towns. He's got a bunch of counties named after him. He's got, parks. He's got a bunch of shit. Roadways and bridges, including our beloved Pulaski. He's got all these little statues and things. Here he is riding the cavalry, doing great. He's got Pulaski National Park in Savannah, Georgia. He's got a business in Pulaski, Virginia. He also has the Pulaski Skyway Crossing in New Jersey. I don't know if everyone has ever done that. Jersey mentioned. Let's go, Jersey. He was also, look at this. He was also intersex, according to recent DNA of his thing. I don't know. This is something I found on New York Times. Who knows? They took Pulaski's bones, they did some DNA testing, and they said that he's a person whose body doesn't fit the standard definitions of male and female. That's as much as I'll go into that. So, back to the Pulaski Bridge. Thank you very much. An artist named John Fechner, I don't know if anyone knows him, but he used to do a lot of stencil art back in the day. This is one thing that he did. He would go into dilapidated buildings. He used to have an office in PS1, and he'd kind of wander around, do a lot of stenciling and stuff like that. But he did something on the Pulaski Bridge called Wheels Over Indian Trails that was there for 11 years, and then he painted over on Earth Day of 1990. It was painted with the help of 2 friends on the cover of Night during the summer of '79. The friends held onto him when he leaned over the edge to paint several giant stencils. He said the slogan was intended to give commuters something to think about while stuck in fumes and gas and smog. Pretty good. I don't know. That was just a weird thing. There were structural problems in the Pulaski. Ooh. So this is a while ago though too. Allegedly. I'll move in here. So yeah, it says a bunch of bridges in New York were kind of falling in disrepair. This had holes through deck and loose concrete. $25 million, what they said. It cost $38 million. And they redid all sorts of stuff. I don't know, wiring, repaint. I don't know. Was anyone here during when that was like down? Come on. All right, moving on. All right, let's move to the Pulaski bike lane. So this is what the bike lane used to look like. Does anyone ride a bicycle here? Go ahead, clap for yourself. Clap for everybody. It used to look like this, where it was a shared pedestrian bike thing, so it was just chaos. It's kind of like the Queensboro Bridge currently is like that, which is just like the worst place to bike. 2012, they did a study about doing a bike lane there. In 2013, it was approved, but how long did it actually take from 2013 for being approved? Does anyone have?
8 years.
8 years is kind of overshooting. 6 inches is, I don't know what you're talking about. March of 2015. The bike lane is, construction begins March 2015. Then construction begins in September 2015. Then construction begins actually in 2015. Not until April 29th of 2016 is the bike lane finally put together. Here are the first glad, happy bikers. Here's the pedestrians over here that are making their little tour. And here are the powers that be that allowed that to happen. There's our current mayor right there. We got a mixed reaction for Eric Adams. Wow. I thought it'd be a lot worse than that. But it did take people getting used to, especially drivers, not knowing exactly what to do on the Pulaski Bridge. And so you get things like this, which is the truck gets stuck on the bike line divider. There it is. Looking like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh my God. You also have this story, which I was very happy to find, which bicyclist captures motorist in bike lane on Pulaski Bridge. So we're going to watch a little video right here.
Hell yeah.
Let's go for local news.
New video of a blatant case of reckless driving on the Pulaski Bridge. That video there captures a driver in a car driving in the separate bike lane. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger spoke to one of the bicyclists who came within inches of that car.
Who was that? Were they here?
It was a perfectly normal start to the day for Stephen Stone as he grabbed a city bike near his Greenpoint apartment and pedaled onto the spanking new, protected, supposedly safe bike lane over the Pulaski Bridge. But then,
I knew something wasn't right.
you can say that again. He recorded this video as a Volkswagen just drove on by, even tailgating another bike rider, the driver wearing what looks like a nervous grin.
I love that. It says the driver is wearing what looks like a nervous grin. That is just... Now it's moving on. Let's see. Hold on. Don't peek. All right, here we go. We are back. So, so they did a study, 2019. It's weird when you separate pedestrians and bicyclists. It's like there's no many crashes and stuff like that. So good. Also in 2019, I'm going to talk about this. There's a design firm based out of Williamsburg called Creme? I don't know. However you want to do it. Creme. And they designed something that goes back, and this is where I bring it all back to the beginning, where they're trying to recreate this thing on Vernon Boulevard, keep the Pulaski, where they have this, which, the GIF works, good. And so it kind of would do this little thing, it would kind of open up like that. They did a bunch of artwork, a lot of people in black and white. You got people getting delivered stuff here. You got, where am I going? There's a map going on here. I'm just bicycling for some weird reason over here. We're gonna look at the creek. Oh, look how beautiful the creek is over here. They also called it Long Point, which is very fun. It's a Long Island City and Greenpoint mix, which I thought was a very fun little thing. They're trying to... That's why I did the presentation just for Long Point. That was the only reason I wanted to do this. They had a Kickstarter. Here it is, the Timber Bridge at Long Point Corridor. They wanted $50,000, which is not a lot, and I don't know what they're going to do with that. And it failed. It was not enough. It was $30,000. Project unsuccessful. This was the last that I've ever heard about it. Very. So I will open it up. Why do we love the Pulaski Bridge? Go ahead. Does anyone have any things? No trucks. No trucks? Get to the 7. It is a halfway point of the New York City Marathon. Always love that. You have people running, likely shitting their pants around there as they're going up the hill. There's a whole group. It's also, if anyone's ever done the 5-borough bike tour, I certainly have not, but that is a big thing. This is an old photo from back then, from 1980, I think, of all the bicyclists doing that. We find weird stuff underneath. So, this is a recent story about this head shape that was there, which I don't know where it was from. I don't know where it was confirmed. It was from. Do you know where it was from? It was from some Oh, did you? All right. It was from some studio, I think, at the end. It was maybe from hell. This is a closer up of what it looks like. I don't know if that helps. Very strange. I think it's gone now. I haven't seen it now. But they've also found different stuff, including a 500-pound bomb that was diffused there. This was back in the 50s, and there are some quotes from the article that I'd like to share. Let's see, 500-pound weapon had fused an explosive charge. It was theoretically live but not armed. And some kids, all right, I'm gonna read this. Hey, look, said Michael Perez of 132 DuPont Street. They found our bomb. He and his friends then described how they played on the bomb for the last 2 years. We used to ride it like a horse, and sometimes we'd go up on the bridge and throw bricks and bottles at it. And this is part of that. Very curious about. There used to be another bomb, he added, but a man took it and put it in front of his house. So I have no idea what happened to that bomb. That is one of my favorites. We also go for a stroll up Pulaski Bridge, of course. We walk up the Pulaski Bridge. I don't know who that is. We do a little thing. We look over the edge, and maybe if it's spooky season, then we do a little walking audio ghost story that begins there. And then there we go. Maybe that's a good place for it. And we do a 3-mile walking audio ghost story. But honestly, listen, look up about that. I don't know who fucking did that shit. But the best thing about it is, of course, the lovely view that we have there. You get the sunset, you get the Empire State Building, you get the beautiful, just Manhattan skyline. Hold on a second. What happened there? Now there's a whole bunch of Hunters Point building. That's fine. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's the end of my thing. Thank you very much. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for coming out to this. This has been super fun. Thank you to Matt, who has been doing sound for this. Thank you to Danny, who has allowed this to happen. Thank you. Thank you to all the speakers who have done it. Arif today. Where's Arif? I don't know. If he's gone, is he? Arif, that was incredible. Thank you, Arif. And yeah, I don't know. Stick around, get some drinks. We will do another one in probably, yes.
Give it up for Matt Jackson, the sound guy.
Hey. Give it up for Matt.
Hey, give it up for the master of the ceremony.
Thank you. Give it up for me. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, all right. We'll see you we'll see you next time. Probably in February or so. We have a few people lined up already. Thank you very much. Come on back.